Hey YouTube, it's Chuck. Welcome back to the Apiary. I know it's been a while since I've been in the Apiary, but it is August in the southeast down here in Jacksonville, Zone 9B. Hopefully you saw my yellow-legged hornet video I made this week. Something for local beekeepers in the southeast to keep an eye on. I don't think you're gonna see any of them right away unless you're in the Savannah area, but if you are in the southeast, something to perhaps get smart on, maybe learn how to identify this yellow-legged hornet that is an invasive species that is in our region. As of last year. In any case, check that out if you're interested. But I figured I'd just bring the camera with me today. I had a customer that needed some queens. I've got some resource hives that should have queens in them. And let me just take the camera around and show you how the apiary looks, and then we'll put you on the tripod and we'll go from there. Let me turn you around. All right, generally this is how the bees are looking right now. You see, typically in the heat of the summer, and here it is like 9 o'clock in the morning and they're already bearding. And you can kind of get a sense of the strength of the hive, honestly, by the amount of them outside and that are bearding. Still lots of pollen coming in. The bees look good generally. These nucleuses I have, you know, plenty of strength here, bearding on the outside. I do want to show you something though. Occasionally you do lose a little nucleus colony to something. They lost a queen and they start to die, and you get some wax moths in your wax, and you can even see some small hive beetle larvae in there that I probably should throw these in the pond so the fish can eat that up. But one of the telltale signs, and here's one I left for you to, can you see how that pollen is coming out the front? If you see any indications of pollen in any sort of dusty format coming out of your entrance, that is an indication that you've lost your hive to something, and essentially scavengers are taking that pollen out, and more than likely the dust is coming from the small hive beetles eating it and taking it down to the bottom. Any case, let me take you around to the front of these resource hives. These are some of my 3 and 5 frame nukes, and these are all doing pretty good. And the long Langstroth here on this piece of property is doing good also. I see entrances coming and going. I don't see any entrance right there. I'm not even sure if we have a hive in there. I might need to check that too. But anyway, I've got a, like I mentioned, a customer that needed a few queens. So I'm just gonna put you here on the tripod, crack open a few of these hives, see what we see, and put some queens in cages, and we'll call it a day. Stick with me. All right, here we go. Let's crack open this first one. Just here on the left and take a quick peek. Lots of bees. Nothing generally to worry about there. Now, when you haven't been in your hives in a while, there is gonna be some propolis. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to leave my jacket on or not. I haven't been able to measure the temperament of these bees in a while, but because I haven't been in here in a while, we'll see. I don't even remember, some of these I had queens that I hadn't even marked yet before I went on a little bit of time away in July. But let's crack this open and see what we get. First thing we're going to be looking for whenever you open a hive after it's been in a while is you see the evidence of laying. Now, obviously I'm looking for queens. Brood pattern, things like that are also what I'm looking for. Straight away, great brood pattern in the middle of this hive. There you go. Other side's got a little bit of open brood on it. And now I'm looking for my queen. She could be unmarked, and if she is, I'll have to mark her. But this is a good candidate. There's still drones flying this time of year. Obviously not as many drones flying as in the spring. So if I remove a queen from a good hive that's got lots of eggs and larvae in it, they should be able to make another queen no problem this time of year, as long as they've got resources to do so. And an overcrowded hive is obviously a great hive to do a walkaway split from. Didn't see her on there. Great food frame. Lots of honey kind of in the corners with some great brood just because they ran out of space. I still see eggs and milk brood. All right, I'm just gonna pull my veil over as they're starting to buzz me a little bit. I'll zip up if it gets bad. looking for the queen. Didn't see her there either. So maybe the last one, maybe she's on the sides, or maybe I've missed her because she's unmarked. Brood on every frame. Food on this frame too. Outside of the outside frame, got a nice white pollen coming in, light yellow, white pollen coming in. All right, here she is. All right, here she is, unmarked queen right here. Nice looking queen though. There she is. So, as you guys have seen me do many times, if you watch my videos before, I usually just get my marker ready. Keep an eye on her while you're doing that. She's right here. Try to keep her from going underneath. I don't like to have gloves on when I'm marking, but I've got some new gloves. I'm going to give it a try. Grab her by the handles. And then the legs. Just give you a little bit of a view. There you go. Nice green dot. She's this year's queen. Now, that ink can dry a little bit. And I'm using my 3D printed cages right here. Copied after the Easy Peasy cages, I believe. Guy had a great idea. I'm not selling them. I'm not stealing his idea or anything. I'm using them for my own use. And I made these caps that have the Queen Escape and Queen Candy in there. So I do need to get some workers in there also. I probably should show you guys how I do that too. Keep your finger on there. And lots of workers. Keep track of the queen. Keep her fed. 4 or 5 is usually what I do, depending on the size of the cage. And there's one, ready to go. All right, I got one marked. I'm gonna keep you with me just to continue to watch. One important thing to note, after you take a queen out, is you gotta get your queen math back on your hive. Take notes, guys. So this needs a note that the queen was removed today. And today is, I think that's the 12th. You're looking on the bottom of my screen. Yep. So 8, 12, remove queen. And I'm gonna put the graft day as the 12th and then do the math. So she'll be capped on the 17th. She'll hatch on the 24th. She'll be mating on the 29th. And this is August with 31 days. So September 2nd, if all goes well, she should be laying. And then I'll just do a little bit of cleanup here for the propolis. Gonna be a little bit rougher now that I know I don't have a queen there. And I've got my jacket on too. So that is round 1. We'll keep going. So right away on this first frame here, I'm not seeing brood at all in this outer frame. So that other one, remember, it had brood in every single frame. So we might have a situation of a queenless hive here. Let's look in the middle. I do see some remnants of some cups. See them there on the bottom? It looks like they've been trying to make a queen. These guys need some eggs. Yeah, check the last frame. So this one would be dying and will be dying without the ability of making a queen. And there's enough resources in here to probably make a queen. Lots of bees. So they need a frame of eggs. With hatching brood on it would be great too, to have eggs and hatching brood to keep the population up. So that's good. Now, in order to do this, this is a 3-frame resource hive for queen, and this is a larger 5-framer that's got plenty of bees in it. This one's ready to sell. Now this one is overcrowded and could probably use some room. So basically what I'm going to do is go in here, find a frame of eggs to put into here, make sure I don't take the queen out, and then we'll give them some resource. So let you watch me do that. All right, there's the marked queen here. So she's doing good. I'm gonna go ahead and just put her back in this hive on this side. This one I think had a lot. Yep, this one's got a lot of eggs on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop this one in here. And the queen still in here, resources with eggs, coming back in here. And then I'll just close this one up. You saw me give some shakes there. That was just so this queenless hive gets a few workers, foragers, so they can make a queen. So today is also graft day. If I were going to mark a graft day for a hive, because now there's a walkaway split basically in here too. So the notes for this one, I can mark on here. I saw the queen and she was green and marked. And here, add eggs. And then do my math on here, just like I did on the other one. 12th is graft day, 17th is capped, 24th is hatch, 29th is mating, 2nd of September she'll be laying. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's keep going. And looks like my frames are coming apart. This one is dead, it looks like. So I'm just gonna give you a sign here. So when you open up a hive and there's no bees, it's dead. No matter, even if you come in here and you could maybe find a small little cluster remaining, but dead. Yep, so this is a dead out. It happens this time of year. When the propolis hardens up on these frames, is when, if you didn't get enough glue or your nails didn't set, these frames will pop apart like that. And I'm even having trouble splitting that one off like that. Propolis is hard. See, I started drawing that one out and I just need to, golly, it doesn't even look like there's a nail in that one. Huh. I nail every single one of my frames, so either I got lazy and missed that one. I got staples in the bottom, not the top. That needs re-gluing, so I'm gonna set that aside. And I remove dead outs just so I can kind of keep track of them. All right, another unmarked queen, great. Lots of good laying pattern here. I don't know if you can see, she just laid an egg on me. She had just popped out just as soon as I said that, but she had an egg coming out of her abdomen. So she is actively laying. plenty of brood and eggs on this one to continue making a new queen. No problems here. Obviously, mating success rate this time of year isn't perhaps as good as it'll be in the spring, but with this many resource hives, I got enough to get by. I'll keep track of them. All right, YouTube, I've got them all riled up. I got my 4 queens. I just want to let you know kind of how I finished up and what I got done here. The center nuke in here was no queenless. It had some good bees and pollen and food in it, but no queen. So I moved an entire 3-frame nucleus colony in here, but I caged the queen so they can adapt to her. I removed all the queens from these hives here. This one was so strong, I ended up removing 3 frames of brood out of it, but it still has a laying queen. So a lot of the empty frames I pulled out of here are back in here with a laying queen. So effectively I was rebalancing, making sure every box had eggs to make a queen here in the fall if they can, and then restock the hive with the nucleus and spread the frames around. And as you can see, I've got a little robbing going. So what I'm gonna do here in a second, I'm gonna turn the camera off, I'm gonna clean everything up, and I'm gonna spray my hose for about 5 minutes in like a sprinkle mode, make it like it's raining. This will knock back some of this robbing, but not all of it. Might need to do it a couple times because as the foragers come and go, I definitely don't want any of these weak hives to get robbed out again. That's typically how these smaller nukes die, is they get robbed out and then they dwindle. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Late in the season, but before fall, we'll be getting ready for fall before you know it. Thanks for sticking with me. See you later.